People. Que pasa, say what they do. Now, people, we see that the Jamaican Popo are at it once again, and this is the next incident when we are speaking about the Popo versus the residents. Now, in the latest incident, we saw that a 67-year-old lady, and her name is Lucette Newman, she picked up some corn on Friday night in a community called Friendship. We are speaking about Wakefield, we are speaking about Trelawny to be exact. And if you know anything about Trelawny, that is where the great, we are speaking about the legendary Usain Bolt is from. He attended William Knibb High School. So anyways, back to the story. Now, based on the report, it is said that she picked up a corn during a little confrontation, a little scuffle between the residents and the Popo in that vicinity. And this incident was said to have taken place at about 10 o'clock. And according to Senior Superintendent of Popo, we are speaking about a person whose name is Kirk Ricketts. He is saying that the Popo basically rolled upon a scene, and allegedly, or according to the senior superintendent, it is said that after the Popo party found this person, they had reason to bring that individual to a location. And when they reached that location, a crowd came down on them. And according to the Popo, the people them start to fling some big stone. We are talking about some boulder. We are talking about some rock. People, that is according to the Popo. The senior superintendent also stated that after the Popo came under stone like rain, they had to release that one individual, that said individual, and basically made a tactical retreat. Now, people, what is a tactical retreat? I don't know. If you do, let me know in the comment section. The senior cop further stated that during this tactical retreat, they were fired upon by some people and they returned the corn. So people, we are talking about corn for corn. We are talking about some market trading. We are speaking about in DEATH. Now people, if you see where the story is going, first thing first, they said that they were stoned by these persons, and then them claims that the people them start let off some corn upon them. People, is it fact or fiction? Let me know what you think in the comment section. The senior Popo also stated that he is uncertain how Miss Newman basically pick up some corn and in the end pass away. So people, we see exactly what is going on. There was a little confrontation according to allegedly by the Popo and the residents. However, there was said to be some sort of exchange. I don't know if it was stone versus rock. I don't know if it was H00T versus corn. People, I am just talking one side of the story based on what the Popo is saying, based on what Mr. Ricketts is saying. We are speaking about the senior superintendent of Popo. So people, like we always say, there are always three sides to the story. We are talking about the resident side, we are talking about the Popo side, and then we are talking about the truth. Only God knows what is the truth. Because people, we know the script, we know that cliche is saying the Popo came under FIRE from some corn, and after returning the corn, two persons or one person or some people were basically clutching for their life. People, nothing changed, just another day in paradise. We are talking about in a Jamrock, we are talking about welcome to Jamrock. The report further stated that one of the Popo got a rock in his head during the confrontation with these residents, and he was taken to the place of recovery and he was treated and then released. So people, based on what I am hearing right here, no Popo pick up any corn. One Popo basically get a little rock in his head. And people, I am not saying that it is right. I am not saying that it is justified. The point that I am trying to make is that were these Popos actually in fear of their life? Were these residents threatening the Popo in the farm that they felt like them supposed to let go some corn in a crowd of people? And people, this lady that pick up corn, she was said to be 67 or she was 67-year-old. We are talking about Miss Newman. So people, is this justified? And when we also think about the situation as it pertains to the Popo in Jamaica, We see that they don't have any RIOT gear. They not really have no tactical gear. So therefore, whenever anything goes down, it can escalate to something very bad, because the truth and the fact that whenever the Popo come under any sort of harm, whenever they feel like they are in fear of their life, they can basically retaliate in the worst case scenario. And people, we saw that this was exactly what happened. However, at the end of the day, these Popo are supposed to evaluate every situation or every circumstance individually. I am speaking about on a case-by-case basis. And if they felt like they could have retreated without indeed letting off any can in a crowd of person and basically taking out a little old lady, we are talking about a 67-year-old woman, then that is what they should have done if that option was available. And people, like me say, I was not there. I am just speaking as a reasonable person. And based on what we see going on in Jamaica, based on the reputation and the history of the Popo in Jamaica, people, it is bad. They need to be more professional. They need to evaluate their circumstance or situation every day and basically move according. People, was this the case in this case? I doubt it very much. Now, people, you know that whenever any sort of incident like that goes down, we are speaking about any sort of confrontation between Popo and the residents, INDECOM is always going to show up. And based on INDECOM, it is said that they basically took the firearm of the Popo that were on the scene. We are talking about in a friendship, we are talking about in a Trelawny. And INDECOM also stated that no firearm was taken by the Popo during this incident. Some people, we hear the Popo claim that some people threw some rock after them. We hear the Popo claim that they came under FIRE. However, based on the evidence, based on what INDECOM is stating, there was no FIRE arm on the scene. So people, is the Popo lying once again? People, was the Popo actually in fear of their LIFE? Why they returned the can? However, INDECOM is also asking any sort of person that was on the scene, we are talking about any sort of eyewitness, to basically contact them at their location. We are speaking about in Montego Bay. So people, the moral of the story is this: there are always three sides to every story. We've heard the side of the Popo through their representative. We are speaking about the senior superintendent of Popo, Mr. Ricketts. We've heard from INDECOM, and we need to hear from the residents, and most importantly, we need to hear the truth. So people, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that the Popo is telling a LIE? Do you think that they are telling the truth? Do you think that these residents were basically pounced upon by the Popo because of their arrogant way, because of the way how they proceed as far as when they roll up in any sort of ghetto era, garrison era? People, let me know what you think in the comment section. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine, but let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up. Now people, before I move to the next part of my video, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. One word, don't put no space between the words. And also subscribe to this channel. And when you subscribe, please to press the notification bell. And when you press the notification bell, please to press all in the option. So therefore, whenever I release any video, you'll be the first one to get it. Because sometimes we cannot rely on YouTube for basically send out these notifications. As a matter of fact, people, I upload videos every day. We are talking about at least once, sometimes two, and even sometimes three. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that a Popo, we are speaking about Detective Constable, we are speaking about Owen McCleary. He was charged by the Independent Commission of Investigation in relation to an incident that took place in 2018, in which a female motorist, we are talking about a bike rider, she was basically ASSAULTED on Mandela Highway by said Popo and this Kumbolo. Now, based on the information and based on reports, it is said that said Popo, he was granted bail in the St. Catherine Parish Court, and he is to return to court on May 25th, 2020. And this is based on an incident that occurred on exactly August 17, 2018. So people, we are speaking about less than 2 years ago. Now, based on the report, it is said that a lady and her name is Lori Radkin Marassa. She was riding her motorcycle along Mandela Highway when she basically collided with her next vehicle. And people, this vehicle happened to be the vehicle of a popo. We are talking about some undercover. We are talking about some plainclothes popo. And people, some sort of altercation. We are speaking about verbal altercation took place. And people, all we know is that one of the popo lift up this lady and slam her upon the ground, and she was unconscious. So people, we are speaking about a very unconscionable act of a popo and a male popo upon a female. So people, the point that I am trying to make is that whatever this lady said to the popo, it gave him no reason. There was no justification. So people, the moral of the story is that thank God that we live in a technological age. Thank God that everything happens is usually recorded on video and always hit on social media and always go viral, because the truth and the fact that if this was not on video, more than likely this popo would not be charged, and more than likely this popo would have gone away scot-free. So people, we are speaking about a good thing for social media in the 2020, because we see that these popo are acting very badly. And people, if you remember this incident, it was very bad. And we have to also remember that the lady was going about her business on the highway, and she basically came in a little accident where the popo was actually wrong, because he basically lit the lady off of the bike, and I guess she said something to him, and I guess because of his ego, I guess because of the fact that they are always hiding behind that badge, he thought that he could have did whatever he did and get away with it. So people, we are talking about the chicken basically came home to roost, point blank and period. So anyways people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that, and like me say, it is just my views and opinion, it is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine, but let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.